I am very much an all in or all out type of person. I like to say this, that it's either hell yes or hell no for me, because I don't like to half-ass anything. If you're gonna do it, whole ass it. Everyone loves talking about themselves, and I am no different. You guys have been asking for it, so today we're gonna be talking about my background, where I'm from, how I grew up, and how I landed in commercial real estate, so you guys can kind of see my life behind the camera. All right, so let's take it all the way back to 1992 when I was born in Houston, Texas. I know I am not actually a native Nashvilleian. I guess I'm a transplant.
You sit on a throne of lies.
To be fair, I've been here since I was 1 or 2 years old. I've been here my entire life as far as I can remember, so that's really all that matters. My mom's side of the family is from here. We've been in Nashville for generations, which is really neat to see. I've been able to go back to historic properties where my family grew up. And my dad's side of the family has been in Texas for generations. So I grew up going out there in the summers, visiting our cattle ranch out there and working cattle. Went to kindergarten twice because I did so well the first time. They wanted to see if I could do that again a second time. Since I was a kid, I've had a very strong work ethic. I started working for my grandfather at his construction company every summer, starting when I was 12 years old. I think the spot where things started to change for me is where I got a summer job selling knives for Cutco. And I had what was called a fast start. The record was $16,000 in 10 days, and I ended up selling $21,000 or $22,000 in 10 days, broke the record by 5 or 6 grand, and realized, you know, one, my work ethic has really paid off. And two, I can talk to people. Went on that summer to sell about $80,000 worth of knives, made about $30,000. That might as well be $1 million for a kid right out of high school. The thing that gave me was this innate ability that I knew how to make money. I could sell. I could sell anything, really, as long as I had conviction in the product. Yeah, so it was probably 2012, freshman year of college. And I'm sitting in geology class learning about pyroclastic flow. I had learned more about pyroclastic flow in 8th grade than I was in my freshman year of UT. So I started daydreaming and thinking I made a bunch of money over the summer. What if I was doing that full time? I was like, yeah, what if I was doing that full time? Made up my mind then and stopped going. Back to Nashville, I started working for my grandfather as a project manager for his construction firm. The whole intent there was for me to learn everything that I could so that I could eventually take over the company. And about 3 or 4 months into that, I ended up getting a job offer from a boutique developer here in town to come be his in-house leasing agent. He had heard about my sales abilities and wanted somebody to come in and focus full-time on his real estate portfolio. So there was no education on commercial real estate like this channel, like my podcast, which is why I do all of that today. I knocked on doors and I cold called. It took me 6 months to get my first lease done. I made $40,000 my first year, which is a lot of money for a first-year commercial real estate broker. But then my second year, I made like $40,500. I was like, what the hell am I doing here? I'm leasing commercial real estate. I'm making $40,000 a year. I made, a third of what I thought that I was gonna be making. And all of my friends are now graduating with college degrees. That could have been me walking on the stage. And so I was worried there for a little bit that I made the wrong decision, but hey, the third year I made 120 grand. Well, that entire time that I've been with that company, which is one of the biggest reasons that I went there, it was to learn how to develop real estate. I got to sit in on all of the development meetings, one a week, every week for 2 years. And finally learned, okay, here's kind of how they look at these development deals. I'm gonna go find one and put one together. After that, after about 4.5 years, I wrote a book on leasing commercial real estate and launched that in February of 2018 and ended up leaving about a week after that and decided to start my own thing. Founded the Cobble Group in February of 2018. Hell, it was the best decision I ever made. 6 months later, we started Parasol Property Management, and we've been off to the races ever since. After the pandemic, I got stuck in work mode. I couldn't break the habit of not doing 10 or 12-hour days. And that eventually caught up to me to a point where I needed a break. And that's where, I ended up coming up with my idea to do a 30-day sabbatical every year. which I still do, December 15th to January 15th, I'm out of the office. Nobody's getting a hold of me. But part of that was starting to look at land that I could escape to on the weekends where I didn't have cell service, nobody could reach me, nobody could find me, I could do whatever the hell I wanted to and forget about work for a little bit. The spot that I've got, it's 15 minutes away from my office, but we've got plenty of land. It's really nice and I get to do whatever the hell I want out there. I'd wake up at 5:30. Some days during the week, I'll get up at 3:45 or 4. It just kind of depends on the day, unfortunately. In the morning, I'll hop on the Peloton, get in the sauna, go for a walk around the property. Really just depends on what my day's looking like. I love woodworking and building things, so I have turned the barn into, built half of it out to be my wood shop. I built what's called a cook shack, more common down in Texas. But it's really a 14 foot by 40 foot open air pole barn where we can hang out, we can grill. The majority of the work I did myself. That's what I like about that spot. Like, can I hire somebody to come out and do all of this construction, all of this work for me? Sure. But I enjoy working with my hands when I don't have to, right? If I get to, then I'm gonna want to. I mean, taking a break from work is just like taking a break from working out. You can't work out all the time and expect your muscles to grow because they're constantly being torn down. And that's the great thing about getting out there and tuning out on the weekends is I come back on Monday morning ready to roll. I'm not tired, I'm ready to go. I'm excited Monday morning. I am constantly working to improve myself because my mentor, who was a former professor at Vanderbilt here in Nashville, he founded the Entrepreneur Center. He's always said that the CEO eventually is the bottleneck of the business. I want to make sure that I'm always staying ahead of the curve so that I am properly guiding my businesses instead of being the pinch point that is preventing better growth from happening. Just because you get out of organized education doesn't mean that you should ever stop learning. Because when you're an entrepreneur, like I never had formal training for a lot of this, so I didn't know how to do it. I had a sales coach, an executive coach. I've got a hiring coach now. I know that is a weak point of mine. It's not like bodybuilding, right? You don't want to necessarily focus on your weak points to make it match everything else. You want to get rid of your weak points and say, hey, you're an expert at this. You help me fix it, right? Because that allows me to focus more of my time on my strengths, my superpowers that nobody else can do. I can hire a great manager. Nobody else can sell like I can. It's more important for me to focus on the sales. So what's next? Well, we're focused on growing the Siri Accelerator Mastermind. That's been phenomenal. We are launching a brokers mastermind for commercial real estate brokers on October 1st. I'm gonna keep buying commercial real estate. It's something I'm very passionate about. I don't have to do deals for the money. I get to do deals for the positive impact that I wanna have in the community. The wash really proved that concept for me. No one had ever done anything like that before, and we converted the 6 bays into 5 micro restaurants and a bar. I mean, you think about the impact that we made. That neighborhood now has 6 small businesses that were started up that did not exist there previously, and I wanna figure out how can we make entrepreneurship affordable again. Advice that I would give to other entrepreneurs is the 2 C's. I feel like I've said this on many podcasts here recently and almost every single conversation that I've been in: commitment and consistency. That's all that it comes down to. This is a bit of a different video for me, so I hope you enjoyed it. Learning a little bit more about me, diving into all of this. If you're getting anything from this YouTube channel, I would love to hear from you. Leave me a comment below. Let me know what your biggest takeaways are and what you'd like to see more of next. Because like I said, we're doubling, tripling, quadrupling down, and we want to bring the content to you that you want. So let me know in the comments.